pop on really quick and introduce this video. So normally every year I'll take a blank moleskin notebook, some calligraphy pens, and a ruler, and I will create my own planner from scratch. This year, however, for 2021, I want to do something a little bit different. So I did some shopping around and I came across Erin Condren's Monthly Planner. What I really liked about this for me was that it provided enough structure in terms of the monthly views, but it also provided a lot of blank note pages, blank productivity pages that could be used for other things. And that is what really appealed to me about this. They also allow you to add up to 80 note pages at the back. So I had them add 80 grid dot pages just so I can make sure that I had enough pages for layouts that I would want to do around goal setting and intention and tracking. So in this video, I'm going to walk through how I'm going to use those blank pages in my Erin Condren planner for this year. And as always with my videos, hopefully you enjoyed the practical side. Also expect there to be a little bit of woo. And as always, if you have questions, go ahead and just pop them in the comments. So this year I decided to use a Erin Condren Monthly Planner spiral bound for my 2021 planner. This is a departure from what I usually do. Usually I will create my own planner from scratch and do everything by hand in a moleskin notebook. But this year I just really felt like mixing things up and doing something a bit different just to kind of shake things up. So I went for a Halloween cover, obviously. If you're not into Halloween, totally understand. They do have Christmas stuff. She's got a lot of neutral things, a lot of fun different covers you can choose that can be customized by color. I decided to do Halloween for the entire year because I love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. You're also able to choose the color of the spiral here. I chose a silver. And I did get the 8.5 by 11. So this is a full-size big monster planner. It weighs a ton. That's going to work for me because I do not need to leave the house much this year as I'm working remotely. And I really don't need to take anything that I'm going to need to take with me. I also had them add at an extra cost 80 dot grid pages. I think it cost about $10 to do so because I added a lot of customizations and I just wanted to make sure I have space for that. When I open the planner, you can see here that this is also laminated on the inside and they have a note page here for you. So if you have a dry erase marker, that is definitely something that you can use with a dry erase marker. And then I also just kind of added a quote up here, just kind of a more inspirational, creativity related quote. Here is a year at a glance. So they started July 2020 in this case and ended in December 2021. And so this is how it looks because when I purchased my planner, I purchased it to begin in January and end in December 2021. As you can tell, it's also tabbed, so it's easy to navigate to each month. After the year at a glance, there are these pages here, a couple of pages, new beginning, new mindset, new focus. I noticed that some people online were using these as, because there's 12 squares across 2 pages, a lot of people were using these to do a January, February, March, April, May, as a calendar and to make plans for each month. I decided to go by topic and theme. So you can see here, right here, I have my numerology personal year, number 8, what that means for me. My tarot year, number 8, is a strength year for me. My astrology, I have a Neptune transit happening this year. Okay, what does that mean for me? And then I wanted to create some spaces to create some high-level goals. So what goals around my mind? That's professional development. Is there something I want to read, a new skill I want to learn? Body, what fitness goals do I have? Spirit, what kind of spiritual goals, especially around meditation and manifestation, do I want to really make sure I'm focusing on this year? And then on this other page, I have travel and adventure. So I wanted 2 squares for that. So I want to make sure that I am going to be writing those out and thinking about that in the next couple weeks before the new year begins. And then I have 2 squares for business goals and 2 squares for financial goals. So I would like to hit these 3 things really hard this year. On the back of this page is a note page, and I just put this as a 2021 manifestations. This is kind of meant to be more of a free writing, brainstorming, just kind of, dreaming a little bit on this page. Getting into January, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to use the monthly note pages that come in between each month. So each month comes with, there's a note page on the back here, a productivity page, and then there's several lined notebook pages. I am going to use this page for a monthly tarot or oracle card reading, just to kind of get the energy of the month. And then what I'm doing is on this productivity page, I want to be able to understand what my priorities are for the month. I also want to journal. What am I listening to? What podcast am I listening to? What book am I reading? And then I also want to write down habits that I want to either change or add to my life. I'm not going to use this space as a habit tracker, but you totally could. I am not that consistent to be in my journal every single day. For me, this is just more of I guess the action of writing the thing down, and these are the things that I want to do, and then making sure, coming back and saying, okay, did I do those things? I also am going to use this as a to-do list for the month, this page back here. And then I'm going to use this page for really kind of getting into the meat of my monthly goals planning. So I'm going to work through my financial goals here. I'm going to work through my business goals here. And if I have personal goals, I have space to add them back here. And that's what I'm going to do every single month. The other thing that I've done is I'm adding reminders. So at every quarter to review my goals, has anything changed in my life? Do I need to make a pivot? So I added a little reminder to myself in April. And then in June, usually at the end of June, early July, I'll do a big mid-year goal review. And I have a layout for that in the back of this, and I will get to that in a second. So that's a reminder that I need to do that. Again, in October, just a reminder to review goals. Am I still on track? Is there anything I need to change? So then after December, I really love this about this planner. There is a future log, sort of, for 2022. I'm definitely going to be using this. I tend to think I'm the type of person who's always thinking ahead to the future. So what I love about this is there's the calendar day, there's space for writing space, and then there's space for notes. And so I'm super psyched about this section. Getting into the back of the pages where I had them add those 80 dot grid pages. So the Condren planner does come with stickers. And so what I've chosen to do with some of my stickers right now is to create my own little tabs for the different sections I've created back here. So to start, I have the mid-year review, which like I mentioned, I will fill this out in end of June, early January. And what I do is I go through an exercise of, okay, what are the things I successfully completed? What things are still in progress? What pivots have I had to make? What plans that I have at the beginning of the year or goals that are no longer relevant? And then what new goals do I have? And then I kind of like to rewrite my goals for the year. Okay, July through December, what am I doing? And then what are the things that I can really knock out of the park in the next 30 days to start some momentum and really just create momentum for the things that I want to get done? And then I'll also document, okay, what are the things I want to focus on the 90 days as well. Moving on, I created an end of year review and prep for 2022. So what I like to do with this section is really kind of do a year-end review, document the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I liked, what was I grateful for? What good things happened? Where did I move the needle? What progress did I make? Celebrating those successes. What challenges or lessons did I encounter? And I like to take a positive spin to this. I tend to actually have a dark sense of humor, and I can usually find humor even in dark things. financial wins and challenges. I'm going to document, where did I move the needle on financial goals, and what is my current standing, and what challenges did I have. And then here, I like to write, what are my changes or pivots for the next year? So taking everything and just kind of looking at the whole year and saying, okay, so XYZ has now happened, or these things have been accomplished. So now what do I want to do for 2022? So that's where I'll write those things down. And that would feed into the next planner for the next year. And then I have a budget planning system that I like to add to my planners. So what I do is I get paid on a bi-weekly basis. So I will write down the pay dates, and then I will also write the pay amounts at the top. I will use pencil for this page because I do end up erasing and moving things around a lot. But the whole goal is to write when bills are due and making sure they're paid on time, but also factoring in when money's actually coming in. I do typically fill this out or complete this with looking at a 3-month time span. So when I do this, I will complete this out to April. So I'll have this idea of like what my financial situation is for the next 3 months. And again, lots of things changes. I'm kind of always working in this document and moving things around, and as things shift and bills come up and that sort of thing. Like, for example, I had to pay $1,200 for a car fix, this week. So when those things happen, you have to shift things around, which is why I use the pencil. I also added a wish list this year, a little layout for a wish list. There are some things that I want, and I'm going to put them on there. And then I always do a 2021 or a annual tarot divination or intention setting. And so I've already pulled my cards. I did that this morning. So what I'm going to do is I'm writing in the card and the right month. And so the idea is, what is going to be the theme or the lesson for that month? And then what I'll do is I'll write and just kind of get into what are the themes, subjects related to these different topics and the meanings of the card. I do this because I just love tarot and the arcane. I love the whole mystery and the whole thing around it. And so really I do this really to learn them more than anything else. And then here's a space for a 2021 intention with oracle cards. I also like to add my authentic code. So for those of you who are into manifestation, if you haven't found Lacey Phillips yet and her To Be Magnetic work, I highly recommend you check it out. But she basically has you pull together an authentic code. And what it is it's basically a value system that is important to you. And so the reason this is important and the reason this can be really helpful in our life is to really kind of understand, are the actions that we're taking every day, are the opportunities that we are manifesting, or in the things that we're moving towards, do they align with our authentic code? So for me, my authentic code is autonomy, which is basically financial freedom; mastery, which is education and learning. I love to read. I love to learn. Mystery, which involves magic and human design and tarot; and connection. So for me, that's connection to nature, connection to people, connection just in general, like interesting conversation. And so these are the things that are aligned with my authentic code, or this is my authentic code. And so as things happen in my life, then I'm going to make sure and see if I'm aligned with that. The other thing I do is I do like to write down references. So in this case, I did write what notes that I had from immune system support from podcasts that I've been listening to. And lastly, I'm creating a Florida bucket list. So my husband and I, we moved to Florida, relocated, had never lived here before, earlier this year. And so what I would like to do is create a bucket list and pinpoint all the different places where we're going to go. And I think I would like to figure out how many beaches can I get to in a year. So I'm probably going to do a separate video on this when I get it done, but that's going to be one of the things that's going to feed into my travel and adventure this year. All right, so that is all from this planner, all the customizations I'm doing. If you have any questions, please pop them in the comments.